is looking deep down the left side. Mendeville into the end zone. Touchdown! Down the sideline, still Foley to the house.
And the players streaming from the sideline to celebrate with 17 seconds left.
Welcome, everybody, back to a special edition of BVarsity Live. I'm your host, Trevor Horn. We are in our TBC studios. Why is this special? Well, tomorrow I got to take the train to Sacramento first thing in the morning for a very special reason. And two, it's because, well, Diana, go to the wide shot. That's a Southern California Regional Championship for the Garces boys soccer team. That's going to be one of 3 Southern California regional plaques that's going to be in this studio over the next hour. McFarland girls are going to be on in the next segment, and after that, the Foothill boys basketball team are going to be on the show. Both McFarland and Foothill are playing for the state championships in basketball Friday at the Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento, where the Kings play in the NBA. The Trojans will play Mount Shasta at noon in the D5 championships, and then at 2 o'clock, McFarland will play Oakland High at 2 o'clock in the very next game. That's historic, ladies and gentlemen. We've had 4 basketball teams ever win or play for, a state championship. 2 on the girls' side, Wasco D4 1988 and 89, and then Rosamond, I'm thinking off the top of my head. Rosemont in 1990 lost the state championships in D5. And then we've had 2 state champs on the boys' side. Foothill in 88, 31 years ago. And the last team to play for a state championship from Kern County was East. They won the D2 title on the boys' side in 1994. So for 25 years, have not had a Kern County team play for a basketball championship. In 2 days, we have 2 teams playing in back-to-back games. Historic. Why is it also historic? Because this Garces boys soccer team, I keep saying basketball the last 2 days. Gentlemen, I'm so sorry about that. You guys won the SoCal Division 5 championship at home. So what you guys were able to do, Robbie Gauk, Moises Cisneros, and Ipumogu. Epamogu. I'm going to get it, and I promise, and I apologize to you, and I apologize to your mother. But, Robbie, when you think about it, that's 3 SoCal championships. And a lot of the times, people always get this notion that Kern County and the Central Section at the state level doesn't always get the recognition and the seedings that you think that you guys would want to get. But when you guys saw that you got the D5 number 1 seed, and I know that we're going to talk to Foothill when they got the number 1 seed in D5, and the McFarland when they got the number 1 seed in D3, you guys all went, okay, we need to play with this, right? You needed to look at that opportunity and take advantage of it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, kind of all year we've really tried to make our home field a fortress. I don't know if we lost any games at home. I think the last 10 games we had 10 home games. Yeah. Through Valley, through state, and it's just really a big advantage for us.
Moises, thinking about that. I think it was January 29th, you guys finished in a 2-2 tie at Centennial. That was the last time you guys played on the road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you played almost a month and a half of your junior year in soccer at home. When you look back at it, now that you've been able to take about 5 days to think about it, how cool was that moment, that whole month and a half to just play on your home field, leave your locker room, go out there, have your home fans, and, enjoy the process?
Yeah, it was really cool because, we had the home field advantage every time, so it was like there's no nerves. It was comfort every time. So we just went out there and did what we had to do at home.
Ibu, when you think about that, you came off the field with about 2 minutes regulation on Saturday, and your assistant head coach gave you a big hug. I know Robbie gave you a big hug, and now that you've been able to, like I asked Moises, when you think about you guys just won a regional championship, you guys did what everybody wants to do, and that's finish the season on a win in the playoffs. I mean, that means you have to win it all, and you guys won it all. How big is this now that you've been able to think about it?
It's probably like the most hugest thing that's happened in the history of Garces, winning at home. Not a lot of teams will get the opportunity to in the next few years, and it's amazing.
Robbie, in your first year, you give Garces their first ever Southern California Regional Championship on the boys' side ever. The girls have them in basketball, but no boys program at Garces has ever had that. When you've got a guy like Gino LaCava, who is your athletic director, and talks to you about that, when you got somebody like Vince Fanucchi, who is a historian of all historians, Have they talked to you about the historical, ramifications of what this is for this school?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, you know what? On Saturday before the game, probably around 3 o'clock, Gino actually came in and gave a speech to the kids. It was a speech that he had given his team back in
03 was the last time they played in the SoCal region.
Yeah, I think it was in 03. He still had his paper of a speech that he gave to them that day, and he gave it to the boys, and it was an awesome speech because it kind of talked about not having any fear, going out there and just putting it all in the field. And it's pretty much what we preach to these kids all the time. So it was cool to see that he was preaching that back then, and we're still trying to get that same mindset, that same idea through these kids.
Moises, building a culture is so big in high school. What you guys have been able to do since your freshman year to now, can you talk me through what it was like when you started at Garces and what it's like now, ending your junior year now, moving into next year?
My freshman year, if someone told me we were going to win Valley and State, I would have probably just laughed. But in sophomore year, that's when I started to get in my head that maybe it could be possible, and that's what we achieved this year.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I mean, you came in as a freshman, and you guys wanted to win, but they didn't come as easily your first year. Last year, you guys got a little bit better, and then this year, how much of the excitement was there for you guys, knowing how many pieces of the puzzle you guys had in place going into this year?
I feel like since freshman year, every year we've just kind of added to what we've done in the previous year. First year, it was still a little shaky season from the years before. Last year, we actually had a good shot, but just things didn't go for us. And this year, it was almost like it had to happen.
I love that moment right there, Moises. I mean, it's not bad when you guys are able to, have that 2-0 cushion and, be able to kind of exhale a little bit before. Because, I mean, Robbie, that's the biggest thing. If you have a 1-0 lead, you have a 1-point lead in soccer, anything can happen. In your mind, you can't take anything off of the moment. Were you able to soak it in the last, extra time?
I think Hassan was more than me. I think even at 2-0, I was still, I don't know, it's my personality, it's how I was. I was still worried about it. I'd like to keep a shutout. I think that's huge for Jaime. I think it's huge for our defense. So I'm focusing on that, making sure, the kids still do the right thing, do what they're supposed to do. So we make sure. I didn't get to relax. I wasn't at that level, being able to do what Hassan was doing.
Moises, do you want to lift it up? Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you feel like a shorty, go ahead and lift it up. Just live TV, don't worry about it. I do it with those chairs all the time. Nice thing about BVarsity Nightly is I tape it so I can mess around a little bit. Let's go into Jaime. He hurts his ankle the day before the semifinals.
Right. I practiced that night.
And then you guys have to make a game time decision, and you put a freshman back there in Palmer Bank. Yeah. And let me ask the boys. Moises, did you have full confidence in Palmer?
It wasn't there at the moment, because it just happened so fast. But I know he played the position before, so I was comfortable once the game started.
How much pressure did that put on you guys as strikers to try to give you guys a lead as early as possible, to take a little bit off of that, even though it wasn't there at the beginning?
I mean, the pressure was there, but I feel like at that point in the season, we've already kind of adapted to it and just use it to score more.
And Robbie, for you, I mean, you think about that, and I think he had 2 saves. I think one came right at his chest, and he took it in, and it was one of those moments when, I looked at that and went, wow, I mean, maybe he is ripe for this situation. He's ready for it. And it's one of those where I'm, I look back there, and I don't know if I told you this or not. So I didn't look at the starting lineup beforehand because I just figured he was going to stay status quo. And then I think you would come off for a second. I didn't see you on the field, and I looked down, and I saw Jaime's number 5 I saw Palmer's number 5 draped over. So I was looking for Palmer. I saw his brother, Fletcher, but I didn't see Palmer. And I was like, where is he? And then Peter, your announcer, said, oh, no, he's between the pipes. And I went, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
And then I looked down, and I saw Jaime with the ice around his leg. That whole situation just kind of blew me away. And then you see your freshman take a couple saves in, and then do you exhale a little bit knowing maybe he's okay in this moment?
Honestly, for me, I was pretty comfortable with Palmer going into goal. Sometimes in practice he'll jump in and he'll play goalie. And he's just a great athlete, so he does well. So for me, knowing our team, I wasn't overly confident, but I was comfortable with this and thinking, if he has to, he's going to be able to make a save and do what he's supposed to and help us out. So he definitely did that.
All right, Moises, you won a league title this year as a junior.
Yeah.
You won a D5 Central Section title as a junior. You won a D5 SoCal Regional Championship as a junior. You lose 2 starters to graduation.
Yeah.
What's next?
I think we just need to adapt to those positions that are gonna be missing next year, but I think we should be able to repeat what we did this year. It shouldn't be that complicated.
Look at that puddle. That was. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking at this field right now, that's a legendary field at the end of February. Actually, this is March 1st. Saturday was March 1st, right? March 2nd?
Right.
Yeah, so when you think about it, having a field like that. Now, who's the gentleman that's been taking care of that for you guys? Nice PK, by the way.
Gondola.
Yeah, so, you look at what he's been able to do and how beautiful that field is. You take that puddle away from the rain the night before.
Oh, yeah.
You've been playing around town all year. You know the difference between a rock-hard dirt field at a league game and then going home into your plush green, right?
Yeah. That's probably why home field advantage is even better, just because it's so nice.
Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. And you take that puddle away. Saturday was a beautiful day, and I was telling Hassan this. It had that same feeling when South won 3 years ago. That they went down to Granada. They were the first Kern County team to win a SoCal regional championship. They've been doing regional championships for the CIF since 2008. So the window was not large, but having 2 Kern County teams win it in that span of time. So South won the D2 title over Granada in a 1-0 fashion. And it was warm. Everybody's in shorts. It had that same kind of feel, the overcast sky. And I told Hassan, I was like, it kind of feels that way. And he goes, well, I hope it ends in the same fashion it does for us. So for you moving away and seeing all that rain the night before and worried about whether or not you're going to be playing in the rain, because there was still rain in the forecast come Friday night. Right. Did the soccer gods open up the skies for you?
They must have. Yeah, they must have. Even with the rain, I think the field would hold up. We've played in the rain a few times there, and it would be fine. But it was actually me that you told that story to, and I remember thinking I told somebody the next day.
Was I telling you too?
Yeah.
I must have told both of you.
And I was telling somebody the next day.
I
told him it was funny because Trevor Horn was telling me about South being in the final a few years ago, and this is the same weather, the same thing. So it's cool that happened that way.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on. Take this thing back and enjoy this moment. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a good likelihood that if they can find the right goalkeeper to replace, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Jaime, sorry. You guys are going to be in pretty good shape. So Garces boys soccer team, the Southern California Regional Division 5 champions. Congratulations to you guys. Thank you for coming on. Enjoy this. And are you running track?
No, not this year.
That upsets me because you know how much of a track guy I am.
Yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Congratulations. It's a phenomenal run for you guys. Thanks a lot. We're going to take a short break. McFarland girls basketball team won in a thriller last night. We're going to talk to them exactly how that happened. We'll be right back. just want to make sure you're okay. Welcome back, everybody. The fun show begins. It's our 1 hour special here on a Wednesday. Why? Because, like I said, I'm taking the train to Sacramento at 6 a.m. It's a nonstop because I don't want to drive, Johnny.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to take the train up just like Foothill did 31 years ago when they went to Oakland. They took Dan Shannon, had them take the train up to Oakland to go play in that state championship. So I said, you know what? I don't want to drive. I made that drive too many times in my life. I'm born and raised in Sacramento. I don't know if you know that. And I went, you know what? I'm just going to take the train up. Amtrak station's here. The Holiday Inn's here. Golden One Center's here.
Right.
All within 4.5 blocks of each other. I don't need a car.
Well, if you need a ride, we'll pick you up.
No, I'm good. I'm going to walk. I'm going to go to Old Sac tomorrow. We're going to enjoy it. So part of the reason, half of the reason why I'm going to Sacramento tomorrow is because the McFarland girls basketball team are in the state championships for the first time ever. Kathy Rodriguez, Nelly Diaz, Julie Hernandez, and head coach Johnny Samaniego, right?
Samaniego, yes.
I was close, right? I don't roll my R's. I don't do anything. I have a very white tongue. So, have you come down off that high after last night?
I don't think so. It was hard. We were talking about it on the way over here. We got minimal sleep.
Yeah.
People texting, calling. Hey, come over here. We're celebrating and this and that. And but it's an emotional high, and we're trying to bring ourselves down because we're happy to be here, but we still got one more game to go. And so we are going to go out there and play the best of our ability.
But last night, you guys are down by 14.5. You guys come back, tied it up, I think, with 6:07 left. Is that about right?
About right.
Yeah, and then you guys were tied 66-66. And, Kathy, I want you to kind of walk me through that last – I'm going to call it a possession. Or is it just a free-for-all underneath the basket?
Oh, shoot. Yeah, honestly, it was a free-for-all because our other teammate, Shania, honestly, she went down there when the ball was going out of bounds, and she came back and, sort of launched it at me. I was so happy that she didn't, hook it or anything. It came straight at me. And I tried to go back up. Didn't work out. Good thing is that Nelly was right behind me to help us out on that point.
And then you got blocked from behind. And then, Nelly, you had a shot at it, at the bucket, and it didn't go in. And then the ball came back down. Who grabbed it again? Kathy, did you grab it again then and throw it back up? Or did
I shot it, and then it kind of went out of bounds because it was just going around everywhere. Then Naya just saved it. Kathy tried to go back
Yeah, and then Nelly saved it after.
Yeah.
And then, Nelly, you just throw it up, and no backboard, no nothing. It just goes in, and everybody thinks that the game's over. Johnny,
fans rush down.
Yeah.
I mean,
you as an administrator, you as a coach, how do you go, okay, it's not done. We still got 2.5 seconds left.
Right. No, I can't. As they came down the floor, I remember Julie's dad came down, rushing down, and all the fans just came down. And at that point, I'm a coach. The admin has to take care of it. If they don't want to leave, hey, good luck having the refs trying to get them off the floor. But they did. They were respectful. They went back up, and they gave them 2 seconds.
Yeah.
2 seconds left, and that was my wife always talks about, games last forever in the NBA, and you can take 2 seconds because 5 minutes. They called a timeout. They set up their offense, and we set up our defense, and we called a timeout, and we changed our, it was just
That's a chess match.
Chess match was right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So when you think about it, it's funny because the Foothill game had ended, so I'm writing the story on that game. But I'm watching John Metis' tweets, and he has your game winner. And I look at the 0, and I go, okay, well, this game's over. But he doesn't show a final. So I'm texting John. He goes, it's not over yet. So I'm just sitting there waiting for his final tweet to come in. And it took 5 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was a crazy moment. Nelly, ever been through something like that?
To hit a game winner like that? No, never in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was the game winner. Honestly, I thought we had 20 seconds left. So I just put it back up, and I thought we just had a long time left until the little buzzer went off, and I was like, oh, shoot, it's over already.
Julie, so many wins over the last 4 years for you girls. And, Friday at 2 o'clock against Oakland High, that's it for the three of you. And you think about everything you guys have been through over the last 4 years as 3-year starters. Can you put the last 4 years into words?
I mean, it's crazy, Like, we worked so hard, and just coming to an end already, it's, like, so close and nearby. It's just, like, unbelievable, you know? We've never been in this situation before.
Nelly, when you've scored so many buckets in your career, how big was that one to get you to the state championships for the first time in school history?
I've got to say, out of all my 4 years of playing, that's probably like one of the most important buckets I've had. Because, I mean, without that, we would have gone into overtime, and who knows what would have happened in overtime.
Amen.
Who knows?
There it is right there. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, the clock ticks down, but yet, you know, and then there's your final celebration.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you want to play that game at home, right, Johnny?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Home court advantage.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, that's exactly what small town sports are supposed to be all about. And that's where I want to segue to. You've won a state championship as a cross-country runner.
1987.
Yeah. When you think about that first year of state, you guys won the D3 title, and then you guys win 8 more after that as a program in boys cross-country. And now to watch these girls get that first opportunity, and only the 3rd Kern County girls basketball team to ever play for a state championship, and the first one in 29 years since Rosamond lost the D5 title. You know, when you think of everything that this school has been able to do in the sport you grew up playing, and now you get a chance to give immortality in the sport that you've been coaching for so long, how big is that for you as a coach?
It is. It's huge. We've always had, you know, dreams. We inspired. I know coming from '87, the state championship, that was huge. First year, we won it, and then it just trickled off. Where after that, kids behind us, you know, it was something obtainable. And God willing, we go Friday and we give it our best out there, and hopefully we can come out victorious. We will still be the 1 seed. We'll be wearing our white uniforms, and hopefully this will just trigger future McFarland basketball, not just McFarland, but Kern County, to open up the gates and the doors so, you know what, have this become a normal or, you know what, something that we can do often, more often than not.
After you guys lost to Emmanuel in the finals in D4 at Selland, were you surprised you got the 1 seed in D3?
San Joaquin Memorial.
San Joaquin Memorial.
Yeah.
What did I say, Emmanuel?
Emmanuel.
Sorry, man.
It's all right.
2 parochials up north.
Yeah.
And the Panthers, gosh, they went to the semifinals in SoCal as
did.
the 12 seed. So you have a section champ get the 12 seed. You guys lose to them, get the 1 seed. Were you surprised you got the 1 seed?
Absolutely. That was the $1 million question. Trevor, we had, I mean, everybody just bombarded us with.
And those guys,
you know,
inside that green room right now we're thinking the same darn thing.
Right. And so we figured, Gino and I, my assistant coach, we were looking at D5 just from past practice from last year. Sierra Pacific lost to San Joaquin Memorial. Mm-hmm. They stayed 4, and they bumped Sierra Pacific to 5.
And they won the state title at
and
D5
they did.
last year.
And so we were looking at D5. There was nothing there. So then we went up to D4. There was nothing there. So then we were all kind of panicking, saying, man, we didn't even get invited.
Yeah.
You know? And so at that point, looked at D3 and said, well, the number 1 seed is no way.
Yeah.
D3, number 1 seed in the South. And so, all right, after that devastating loss, came down to free throws at San Joaquin Memorial. Granted, San Joaquin Memorial is a wonderful team. Taking anything away from them, they played a great game. And we had to come back, called them up on Sunday evening, brought them together, and we told them, look, okay, we lost to, that was our one of our goals to get to a valley. We lost to San Joaquin Memorial. Let it go half-assed. Can we forget?
Yeah.
And we go back to work on Monday, and with the number 1 seed, that means from here on out, we are at home. We have to defend the M.
Yep. I mean, it's incredible. So you get a first-round game against Oxnard, a team you already beat at the Arvin tournament, which is crazy thing about it, too, is that you get the 1 seed, you're surprised. Then you get a common opponent, not even a common opponent, but a team that you beat already 2 months ago. You beat them at home, get to stay at home. You beat Village Christian. Then you got Sarah. But this game last night, being down by that much, and I know that you guys had been down by more this season and come back. But when you think about 31 wins, how did the girls battle this one back by being down by so much early?
I believe it's not just this season, but their junior year, their sophomore year, prepared us for what happened yesterday. We talked about relentless, and at halftime we were down. Julie went down, and we told the girls somebody had to go and get Julie's heart off the floor, the wooden floor, and transplant it to themselves and go out there and play. If Julie could play, she would have, but she couldn't. And so we took it amongst ourselves, and our goal was to bring it within 7 points by third quarter.
Yeah.
In the third quarter, we're down 4. And so we're ahead of the game, ladies, and you know what? We just kept chopping. One thing about these girls, these 3 right here, and Emily being another senior, they've been here for 4 years as a varsity team. And them 3, with Emily, I believe someone had told me, I think it was a coach from Golden Valley, Kurt, he had said that he's very data-driven, that these 3 girls, plus Emily, I think in Kern County probably have the most wins of a varsity girls team in a while.
Yeah, I would think so, because I don't think that Erica McCall's freshman year at Ridgeview, I don't think they were a 20, 25-win season like these girls were 4 years ago. So, yeah, you might be right. I'd have to – okay, thanks. I'm going to call Bob Barnett then. I mean, that is a pretty special occasion. Nelly, I want to ask you a question. When you played at Selland, did it feel cavernous? Was it hard for you to shoot there because of how wide open that place is?
I'm going to say more no than yes, because about the year before, no, 2 years ago, we played at Staples Center, and we were able to get that feel for just a bigger and wider gym already. Then we practiced at BC, Bakersfield College, and we kind of had that perspective already going or the interpretation of like, okay, this is going to be the court, this is how we're going to feel. I mean, the stands are going to be this big. So when I went, in the beginning, I kind of had like, oh shoot, like it feels different than our actual gym. But I mean, later on, I hit my only 3 actually, and then after that, I felt better actually. Yeah. Julie,
how many fans do you think? I remember that you guys played like a December afternoon game at Staples. It was right? It was like an afternoon?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was like an afternoon game at Staples.
It was 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, yes.
There wasn't a lot of people there.
Not a lot.
So, Julie, when you think about it, I mean, it's not going to be like Carruthers Friday morning playing at 10 a.m., probably in front of a couple hundred fans at most. I would think the first game of the state championship, you guys might have a little bit more there because you'll have all your fans, plus you'll probably have a lot of holdover from the Foothill fans wanting to watch your game as well that have bought it. When you look at an arena as big as Golden One Center, I don't know if you ever watch it on TV. I mean, it spreads out and comes up. I mean, it's a beautiful, big arena. Does that intimidate you at all, or is it because you girls are on the same level as Oakland's going to be that you guys just have to go out there and play basketball again?
I feel like not at all. I mean, for me, I think the crowd really helps us, like the hypeness and everything. It gets us going, and we really love the support that we get from our community and families and friends that we get.
Is it rude if I say young female version of Charles Barkley right here with Kathy?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Compliment.
Because that's exactly what I mean. When you're averaging a 20-20 during the state playoffs, Kathy, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And when you think about, shots are going to get missed in a big arena like that because there is the depth perception for the shooters is going to be off. How much of that do you feel like it weighs on you to be that force inside to pull down the rebounds and keep offensive possessions going?
Honestly, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it all comes to me. Like, if I get frustrated or something, I feel like I have to put myself back into the position, like, okay, just fix it. Like, you'll be fine. It'll be all good for you. But I feel like, honestly, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just comes, like, naturally sort of-ish.
I don't want to put him on the spot, but Grant Bingham had some incredible things to say about Kathy over the last 3 days. It's pretty incredible. Who's an assistant coach at BC. So, I mean, it's like video game numbers what you're putting up over the last 3 days. So congratulations to you. I mean, that's pretty special. Rooter buses, how many?
I believe so far 3.
3.
And get this, Trevor, we are, I think it is confirmed that school is shutting down on Friday. And so we're taking up as many as can go.
Congratulations,
and we'll make
man.
up that day some other day, spring break or something. But yes, we'd like to thank our community, our school board members, the whole district for allowing them or giving the girls the opportunity. They deserved it. They've worked hard, and it's been a blessing.
Man, I got to tell you that warms my heart because I know how tough it can be. I have covered that state championship 6 or 7 times, and I know how tough it can be for teams that have to travel. They don't get much. They get maybe one route or bus of student sections, and the parents, they can't travel. They got to work this or that. So for you guys to be able to do that, that's fantastic because it is a tough place to play when you don't have a routing section there. So if you get it over Oakland and you hear that McFarland chant over and over again, that's going to be a lot of fun. So guys, thanks, appreciate it. Kathy, Nelly, Julie, Johnny, thank you guys so much. Congratulations. What a fantastic win last night to get here.
Thank you.
First time McFarland girls are going to play for a state championship at the Golden One Center, 2 o'clock on Friday against Oakland High, and they're going to be preceded by the guys that are coming up next, and that's the Foothill boys basketball team. So after 25 years of not having 5 years of not having a Kern County basketball team playing a state championship, we've got 2 back-to-back, and so when we come back, we've got Foothill boys coming up right after this.
Trevor, you might.
I love food, but I've had to cut down on the amount of food that I've eaten over the last year. But
let's go up.
Dom, we're already talking about food because you got to realize Sacramento's my hometown, and I want to eat some food.
That's.
But I got to be
mostly. That's what I'm going for.
I can't eat grain. You know, I can't eat wheat. I don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. But there are so many. What's great about Sacramento, you know how the farm to fork culture is kind of built up here in Bakersfield?
Yeah.
Sacramento really has done it well. And they got a bunch of great places. Magpie, Lowbrow, all these places, really good options.
I'm with all that. Some barbecue spots or whatever we can slide through, let's do it. It's basically a mandate.
No, I got you the barbecue spot tomorrow. We're good. We're good.
I'm ready. There's basketball going on too, but there's food.
Well, there's basketball going on Friday.
Yeah, Thursday is us then.
Yeah,
there's a rock. These guys.
There's a rock concert going on at Golden One Center tomorrow night that I'm thinking about going to.
Okay,
you ever heard of the band called Muse? Probably not.
Never a day in my life.
No, I know. That's fine. All right. Formal introductions.
Yeah.
All right. Dominique Standstill.
Oh, you like that right there? The government.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Foothill boys assistant coach Wes Worldwide. Worldwide Wes could not be here because he's down in San Diego.
Worldwide as usual.
Yeah, taking care of some things. So, congratulations, Edward Squid Turner, Eli, Sean Kemp Seals, and Jaden JP Phillips.
You know the vibe.
Yep.
You know the vibes.
Guys, congratulations. We just had McFarland girls on the show. They precede you today. You precede them on Friday, which is an incredible moment. You guys play Mount Shasta High School and at noon at the Golden One Center for the D5 State Championship. It's been 31 years since Foothill played for a state championship. Dom, your dad tell you about that?
Yeah, he did, but he kind of
He's an East High guy. He tells you more about the '94 title.
No, he went to Foothill.
Your dad went to Foothill?
Yeah, he won the Valley in '83, '84. Listen, I'm about to shoot you some.
bad.
I'm about to shoot you some of my man's records, okay? Listen, Big Don on the streets. You see where he sit front row for a reason. All the handshakes go through him.
Okay.
You know how he gonna take that as offense now.
The conversation that I had with him last night was very pro East High.
Oh, that's because me and my brothers, we all went to East, so he, at a certain point. But, we kind of transitioned back to the Hill.
Yep. So, speaking of that 88 title game, Coach Dan Shannon made the decision to take those guys, including your uncle Reggie, on the train, on the Amtrak up to Oakland to play for that state championship at what's now called the Oracle. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and I'm taking the train at 6 a.m. nonstop to Sacramento as an ode to what the team did 31 years ago. Plus, I don't want to drive. When you think about the Amtrak station, and I said it already on the show, the Amtrak station is like here, 2 blocks down is my hotel, 1 block over is Golden One Center. So why not?
Yeah, you chilling.
Yeah.
Big chilling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so let's have some fun. Squid, we talked about it last night. I want to go back really quickly to what we talked about last night and the last time you guys lost a game. You lost by 1 point to North on your home court. And Dom, Irv, who else has started this Clutch Clips video thing going on? Mic'd both head coaches up that night. And the video, which has been edited cleanly, has North High's coach AJ Sharon, a good friend of yours, looking at Squid and telling you, now go win state. We talked about, you remember that moment. What did that mean to you, man?
It just meant everything, coming from the opposing team, especially because they beat us that night. That moment I knew that it was bigger than basketball. It was bigger than just a game. We actually have other teams here supporting us. They want us to accomplish something here at Foothill.
And Eli, think about that. It was January 25th, I think it was, the last time you guys lost a game at home, and you guys were at home, and you guys haven't lost since, and you've been at home other than selling for, about a month, it seems like, right? How much of that, the movement, now this is your first year at Foothill after growing up in San Diego, how much of this movement, this environment that you've seen over the last month has really made you excited about, just being a basketball player right now?
Well, the fan base is just really nice, and being able to be accepted by everybody over here in Bakersfield really just took me in like I was one of their own. It just feels real nice being here.
JP, that 88 title team means so much to your family. And I talked to your uncle for a bit before the game last night, and then I asked you about, what that meant to be part of that legacy. Now that you think about it even more and more, how big is Friday for your family?
It's very big. So, if we win that, I could come back home and talk my mess, say what I got to say to them, we'll be even platforms at that point, So it'll be good.
Really? Because I think he played for the Globetrotters, so I think he got a few years to get
the
even.
ball in your fingers, that don't mean nothing to me. I swear to God, that don't mean nothing, man.
Really?
Come on,
Reggie,
man.
Are you watching right now? Because if you are, comment. If you're on Facebook, Reggie, and you're watching, please tell me.
Come on, now. I could teach him a thing or two. You know what I'm saying?
He's so
for real, for real.
But Dom, this is what you want, though. You know what I'm saying? With that killer dog mentality.
Yes, we want the loose JP that he just like. When he's talking like this, I feel good going into Friday. Like this, you feel good with going into a game.
In my bag. You know what I'm saying? Big Duffy.
But that's the incredible thing about this young man. I mean, these two have been so consistent. Eli, your improvement on the basketball court from the beginning of the season till now, it's phenomenal. You have become an absolute force. But when you look at JP and think about, when you guys beat Bassett, I think you hit a three-pointer very first possession of the third quarter, you hit a three-pointer. But then that scoring output that we see from you so much kind of went away. Kind of went away against Arletta. But in the last two games, I mean, Dom, when you look at what he's been able to do, I mean, this is Big Shot Rob.
It is. And
I don't like that guy at all.
What?
2003 Western Conference Finals. He
Oh.
should not have been standing
I know where
at the
you-
top of the key. Vlade
makes sense.
tipped it out for a reason. There's no reason a 6'9" forward should be out there going
And then he hit you with the celebration, the bounce to the. When he hit you with that right there, you're probably sick.
Because you know what? They win that. Kings win that game. They win that, and they beat the Nets in 4, just like the Lakers did that year. And the Kings would have an NBA title rafter.
That's you got the Kings beating them in 4.
Beating the Nets in 4, same way the Lakers did it. Yes,
This is
That
what we're
year's-
on, Dom.
he's
This is
a
what we're
homer.
doing.
I
This is
like
what we're
it. I
doing.
respect it. I do.
This is what
I
we're doing.
respect it.
That 2003 Sacramento Kings season meant so much to me. I was living in Sacramento. I was still in the Air Force. I was stationed at Travis. I was living in Sacramento. Me and my buddies went out to the bar. Dude, we watched, I think, Game 3 of that at that championship series when they were down in L.A. We watched it on the big screen in Arco. That's how much that meant. They used to open up Arco for like $5, and we'd watch it on the Jumbotron. And now, here you guys are playing in their new arena. Squid, when you think about that, I mean, you guys have played in some arenas, but this is the best arena in the NBA right now. And you guys get to play in it Friday night. Friday afternoon, my apologies. I mean, you want your future to be in the NBA. And now you get to step court on an NBA court. For a state championship, for something the school hasn't done in 31 years, to be the first Kern County basketball team to win 2 state titles. When you think about this, how cool is this moment?
It's amazing, you know, just going somewhere that no one else has been before. Well, in our generation, but yeah, it's just crazy, like hearing all the stories from back then, from our parents and everything. You know, we're finally here. We finally live in the moment that they were in.
Eli, how have you guys gotten to this point? Because I've been to all 4 of your state playoff games, and you haven't really been contested. When you're contested, it's, I think, to your own fault. Do you agree?
Yeah.
How have you guys been able to do this?
Well, we've been fighting the whole season, and we've always tried sticking together, and we've always stayed together. So getting to this point is really just clicked for us.
JP, you moved from Oakland back home. Where were you born? Were you born in Oakland or were you born down here?
No, I was born in Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
And then
Okay.
I moved to Antioch.
Okay.
Antioch, not even Oakland. Antioch.
Yeah, no, East Bay, I know. Yeah. But was that Deer Valley High School?
That's Deer Valley High School.
Yeah,
Antioch High School. You know.
Who went there? It was Marcus Lee. Went to Deer
Marcus
Valley?
Lee and Kendall Smith.
Yeah,
them
Marcus
my
Lee
guys.
went to Kentucky. Yeah, I remember him in high school. He was decent. But when you think about it, you know, you move down to Bakersfield and you instantly become a legacy name because of what your uncle did.
Yeah.
You come in. I think your first game was like the first or second game in January last year as a freshman.
Yeah, like first game of league, like one of them two.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was you or if it was worldwide, but one of you guys came up to me and introduced this little young buck, and you know, brace is still in his mouth, and it goes, "This is going to be the next big superstar." And I'm just looking at 115 pounds soaking wet, going, "What are you guys talking about?"
He owed me though.
But the
Boy
thing
got in that
is
strong
that
body class.
it doesn't matter. I mean,
a bucket is a bucket.
A bucket is a bucket.
But
But
did
big
you guys,
Duffy bag. Let them know.
But did you guys know at that moment how special this movement was? I know you were losing Malik Tao last year, who played at BC, great this year. But I mean, when you look at bringing Caesar back, bring Squid, you watch the advancement of him, and then you know Warren and Eli move into town, and then you got little Pony Diaz in there. I mean, and then Sean comes in from West. I mean,
Playoff Sean.
Dude,
Playoff
that's
Sean.
3 last night.
Playoff Sean's so different. We winning with Playoff Sean. Y'all gonna see real Playoff Sean Friday. Trust and believe
Diana,
that.
just start running video right now
declined
because I want to get to that 3. Just start running through video of them from last night. Because when he hit that 3, now let's just talk about last night. Let's go through this. Can you see the video right now, Dom?
No, I can't.
Okay. So, I mean, you guys, okay, Squid, you're walking in. I trip over myself as I'm walking backwards.
I was trying to protect you from the door, but you
I know, and I appreciate
it.
that.
Like,
when you guys walked in and you felt that crowd, What did this mean to you guys? Anybody can speak up right now. I don't care.
This meant a lot because, everybody came out there and supported us, and we really loved that. We feed off of that. If the crowd into it, we into it. That's how we get going.
And Southwest, Eli, how many of those dudes on Southwest do you know being from San Diego? Did you know any of them?
I knew the whole starting 5 and then number 30.
Diego Edwards is a beast, dude. That guy's good.
He's all right.
He looked good last night. He looked good. He looked like a second-tier Jalen Green.
He looked like the great value version of Jalen Green.
No, he looks like Jalen.
He
looks like Jalen in the face. Yeah. Let's not get that.
No,
that spin move has gotten a lot better, sir. Yeah.
Saucy McSauce sauce.
We call it the sauce. We go through. That's the sauce. The saucy McSauce sauce.
That drive. Okay, so let's talk about Mount Shasta. That's a very good guard-heavy team.
Oh, man, they're really good.
There's a reason why they're 31-1.
Yes.
When you think about what you guys do so well, and that's kind of the isolation one-on-ones, what do you guys need to do as a group to get away from that and be a more cohesive to break that defensive front for them?
I would say the biggest thing is that when it's time for us to step up to the moment, we step up to it, but also just going through our walkthroughs, we know how to adjust for who we're playing with. But more than anything, we're going to make them have to play our style of basketball. That's what I think is going to be the key for Friday, is that they are guard heavy. They're really good at that, but we're really good at this style of basketball that some people might see as a lot of turnover, this or that. The more shots we get up, the more opportunities we get up, we're usually going to do what we need to do. So.
Those glide drives, Eli, that's been the biggest part of your game that I've seen in the improvement of, and I enjoy watching it because you take like 2 steps and you're gone. I just called Kathy Rodriguez little female Charles Barkley. That move that you made when you tipped the ball like the 3/4 mark against CVC and you came up and you double clutched back, like I thought I was looking at like 76er Barkley at that moment.
Nasty.
It was fun. Squid, I got a question for you. Did you call bank last night? On that 3?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
He knew the bank was open, so he didn't even have to call it.
Okay, so there's Sean right there. That's the reaction that I love, is his stepdad, Greg McCall. Because he went stupid last night.
Oh, he did. He was going crazy. If you saw the second time Sean tried to shoot his second 3, Greg was already standing up, ready to celebrate. He was ready for it.
Yes. All right, guys, so this, where you guys are on the bench and you become CIF Division 5 Southern California Regional Champions. The moment is great, but Dom, for you as a coach, knowing that you had a friend in AJ Sharon and the North High community open up their doors to you guys last night, how big was that, knowing that you saw people having to be pushed away the first 3 games in the state playoffs because your gym was too small, and then Southwest did actually bring 4 Rooter buses. They had if you think about their student section, it would have taken up a good half of one half your side. So you needed a bigger facility. What did that mean for you, for them to open up the new big gym in town and Bakersfield come out to support you guys?
Oh, when it comes to AJ and the North staff, it means just family. You know what I mean? They've literally been down with the hill since day one, since we got there, and it meant it meant everything to us. What you got? Let me know. Go ahead.
Ernie.
What's Ernie saying?
Ernie
calls me a delusional Kings fan and then #Queens. I don't appreciate any of it.
He said Queen. That man is disrespectful.
Ernie's going to McDonald's tomorrow night.
Who? He doesn't even get to
Ernie's
come with us?
Ernie's going to McDonald's tomorrow night.
He's gonna be.
And he's staying at the Vagabond.
That's where we're staying.
I know, because you probably got with the room that I canceled last night because I got into the Holiday Inn.
Oh, you didn't want. I was excited when they said we're staying at the Vagabond. Like, my man Trevor's gonna be with us.
I got back. I finished up the show. I called Holiday Inn. I said, because I've had the room reserved for Friday, Saturday, for a week. I didn't tell you guys, but I've had a room reserved for a week because I knew that the rooms were going to book up, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to reserve it. I have up until Thursday night to cancel it, but they're like, no, nothing on Thursday. So I finally called them last night. I was like, all those teams that lost last night probably went and called and canceled their reservations. So one popped up and I took it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't want to hang out with us this time. I thought you was, part of.
I've stayed at that Vagabond Inn once. I don't need to do it again. It's a nice place. My wife, Better Horn is very particular about hotel rooms.
I trust
and
her
she
judgment.
did full research, no bed bugs. It's a 4-star review on TripAdvisor. You're good.
Do they have complimentary breakfast?
I don't know.
But
the Holiday Inn does.
So we're gonna pull up. How many tickets you got?
Our team can't do that.
How many tickets you got?
We all eat breakfast. Gotta eat.
I don't know what you want me to say right now. I don't know what you want me to say right Before I let you guys go, I want to talk about this movement in Bakersfield to really get behind you guys. Squid, from like we talked about last night, when you were in 8th grade, your dad had an 0-24 team. And to no discredit to your dad, he just didn't have the players then. And for you to, sometimes play in front of 150, 200 fans your first couple of years in high school to playing to sold-out, standing-room-only crowds, how much fun was this knowing that your last high school game had probably 4,000 fans in front of them, but watching you guys and cheering you on?
Man, it was amazing. It's unlike no other feeling you can get. Having your family behind you, fans and everyone here to support you. It's just crazy knowing that all of them actually want to enjoy having you there putting on the show for them.
And Eli is the new guy in town for you. And it looks like, people have really kind of gravitated you. They like your personality. And how much have you really kind of responded to what Bakersfield has, kind of done for you over the last 4 or 5 games?
It really just motivates me to do stuff that makes them happy. I like seeing the fans smile and all that, laugh and stuff.
You got little kids coming up asking for your autograph. Did you ever think you'd get that in high school, man?
I never expected it. Never would have expected it.
And JP, for you, you talked to your whole family afterwards, and I think, am I allowed to say old heads? Am I allowed to say that?
You can say old heads.
Yeah, old heads.
Come on, man.
Okay, I just
what's up with that? Yo,
I'm very conscious of some things, and I just want to make sure I'm okay saying that.
Nah,
you gotta understand
they're
that.
fine being called old heads. They know they old heads.
But there are a bunch of old heads in Bakersfield that aren't associated with Foothill that still have been showing up, and you know them, you've talked to them. JP, for you, do you take that as a basketball enthusiast and see the excitement out of people's faces for what you guys are doing right now?
I see a lot of it. It's like accolades. Like a whole lot of people love seeing us play and like seeing us do better now that we up because we was down. So, it means a lot. I just love doing what I do.
When was he down? He was never down.
No. I just remember losing in Kermit and then coming here. Now I'm happy. I'm big chilling. We pop out at your party. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
it's a whole lot of fun.
I'll take that because think about it. Think about that environment at Kermit in the semifinals last year.
It was different.
And then what you guys have done to visiting teams. Dom, how big is that?
It means everything.
Is that a total 180?
A complete 180, because we talk about Kerman still to this day, how that environment was something that, in all these years of basketball I've experienced, it was just something I felt like the walls were shaking. And now that when the Southwest and Arlette and all these schools have to come in and see, we're doing that to them, they're going to talk about playing against Foothill for years to come. And that's these guys' legacy. It's because of them. Yeah.
And Squid, you think about it, you grew up in the Foothill gym. You remember those quiet nights for that team. And then to see that gym packed, it's different because it's so small. And did you feel like you were playing in something bigger than yourself over the last week and a half?
Of course, it's always, it's the atmosphere. It's always it determines the game, If you have your friends and your family behind you to support, it just makes the whole feeling of it way different, Especially having a small gym like Foothill. Like Dominic said, it really does make it feel like the walls are closing in on you.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, having as much of support as we did before, it really opens it up a lot. It makes it a lot more comfortable.
Eli, those walls are not going to close in on you on Friday. They're vast and they're huge. That's a big, big arena. Is that going to intimidate you at all, or are you just excited to get in there and get on that court?
I'm just really excited to go out there and can't wait for the game to come.
JP, people always talk about depth perception in larger arenas. Does that affect you at all as a shooter?
Nah,
Why did I even ask him?
I don't know why you didn't. You saw his energy when you asked. He was already ready to say. It didn't matter what the question was. Hey, I heard that they raised the rims to 20 feet. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to get a bucket. I'm still about my buckets like Milwaukee.
What do you expect from me?
You know what I'm saying? Me and Damo get shots up every morning, so, it really don't change nothing. We've been about this. We gonna ball, period. You dropped the ball, we picked it up, we winning. Come on now. We winning.
This is what you wanted, Trev. This is what you wanted.
I asked for it.
You did. No, you actually
did. This is
the
top BVarsity live stream.
We talked about this.
What'd y'all say?
About whether or not we're going to bring you on or not.
You needed this energy, some positive vibes here.
You said you needed this energy.
What's happening with it?
Listen, I wish that...
Because you know what's funny? You've got the 4-year starter here. You got a senior standout, but who's the dude that's been holding the plaque the most at Selland and then last night?
You know me.
Yes,
you know the
but
vibe.
we have to get it out of his hands because I'm afraid that he's gonna drop it. Not because you want to drop
always
it.
tell me this. They say
Yes.
I be just playing with him like this. And I'm finna
No.
throw it or something. They like
Yeah, so
JP. No,
You
like
would be
what?
the guy. If there's one guy, you would be the
No,
guy.
it'd be definitely Sean or Kevin. Kevin.
It would be. That's why there's no pictures with him.
Imposter.
Shout out
He's
to
an
Kev.
imposter.
Shout out to Kev.
He's an imposter.
So I did talk to Worldwide, and I did talk to your AD. You guys have 2 Rooter Busters coming up.
I just got word we're getting 3.
You're getting 3.
Yeah, we're literally before we came, we're getting 3. I wish I could say we're shutting down the school or something.
But the thing is that there are enough basketball enthusiasts that are old enough that can take a sick day on a Friday and drive up to Sacramento.
Take the sick day.
There's going to be enough people that are going to take a sick day. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to really kind of get there and get this feel that, you know, Friday, the first game, Crothers girls are in the D5 finals right before you guys. And then you guys come in, and then McFarland comes after that. So the central section is the first 3 state championships. And you think about it. 2 years ago, Clovis West girls won the Open title. Last year, Sierra Pacific out of Hanford won the D5 title on the girls' side. And now there's U3 and 2 from Kern County with it. And we could have a Central Section state champ for the 3rd year in a row. Don, for you as a basketball enthusiast, one last question. How big of a movement is this for not only the city, but Kern County having actually 4 teams with Emmanuel also in the D4 finals on Saturday?
It's huge. I mean, I feel as though because we're in the Valley, we might get a little overlooked, but this is going to show everybody that, especially if we come out and we do what we're supposed to do and we get these state champs like we should, like we're expecting, then I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more movement, a bigger movement as far as basketball in the Valley.
Okay. Guys, thank you. Get some practice time in.
Yeah, practice. These guys only want to practice 40 minutes tonight.
Oh, my God.
Ask Eli. No, Eli's been the most quiet. Ask Eli his practice plan. Tell him the practice plan. Tell him.
Tell him, Eli. Tell him what we're doing.
We're going to have 10 minutes of stretching.
Right.
We'll have about 20 minutes of movement. And then 15 minutes after, we're just going to talk.
We're going to throw a water break.
He said movement. I don't even know what he means by
movement.
Like just
like
movement.
where you're moving. How do you not know what movement is?
It's such a vague thing. Like, oh, move. Right now, I'm moving. So this is what you want to do?
Yes.
See?
20 minutes of that.
Thank you.
15
You're regional champs, everybody. You're SoCal regional champs.
But that's the thing is that Ruben Hill, the assistant for North, goes, I wish I knew how to be that relaxed. The way you guys were last night coming in. I mean, Caesar just a ball full of whatever he is. I mean, he's just the most relaxed dude. I mean, he's just yelling during pregame, I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. But you know what? Congratulations to you guys to being free flowing because that's what it means. We got to go. We got to go. Thank you guys. Congratulations. Enjoy the drive up. Be safe. Dominic Stancil, government name.
It's the government. You guys are lucky.
Government name.
Squid, Eli, and JP. Thank you guys. Congratulations on a great run here in the state playoffs. Good luck to you guys on Friday against Mount Shasta in the D5 state championships. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a legendary weekend. The Garces boys won the SoCal D5 state title in boys soccer. We had 2 regional champs in boys and girls soccer with Foothill here, and McFarland girls last night winning in a thriller. So when you think about this, we've had 4 basketball teams ever play for a state championship. None since 1994, and now we have 2 playing on back-to-back days on Friday at the Golden One Center in Sacramento. If you want to call me ignorant by saying it's historic, then I'm ignorant because it's not. I'm not, because this is historic. So thank you guys. Thank you to our director, Diana Rodriguez, to the Garces boys soccer team, McFarland girls basketball team, you guys from Foothill. I'm excited about getting on the train tomorrow. I'm actually going to write a column while on the train as an ode to the 88 Foothill team, and obviously, and McFarland winning state title the year before that in 87. I'm going to have some fun with it. I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you guys do too. We're going to have a lot of content for you about Foothill and McFarland over the next coming days. No BVarsity night late at night, but we will be live from Sacramento Friday and tomorrow. So you guys have a great one. I'm Trevor Horn. This is BVarsity Live. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Beautiful.